Born in 1929, we lived in a suburb of Liverpool, and quite an achievement for my father, really, that he bought a house then, and it was all electric, which was terribly exciting. And life was pleasant, ordinary, not very exciting. We played out with all the other children in the road. We went on holiday every year, usually to Wales or Cornwall. We had 2 spaniels who I adored, one called Bessie and one Andy. When I was 6, I developed petit mal, which is the mildest form of epilepsy. And they decided in their wisdom that I should give my brain a rest. So I wasn't allowed to read or write for a year. I couldn't go to school, which was boring in the absolute extreme. I was already a very avid reader by then. But, we did have the radio a lot. You had to be quiet at 6 o'clock because Father listened to the news. World War II started in 1939 when I was 10. And I was evacuated, but not for very long. Went to my auntie's in West Kirby. And like all the others, came back just before the bombing started in 1941. We had an Anderson air raid shelter in the back garden. And, once the Blitz started, we'd sleep in there every night. I don't remember being at all frightened. I mean, you'd hear the planes, you'd hear the guns, you'd hear the bombs. It never, I think, occurred to me that one might hit us, although we'd find at school girls would turn up in very strange clothes because they'd been bombed out the night before, so it was sort of all around us and there, but it didn't, I don't remember being worried about it. It's a bit odd. The shelter had a chest underneath one bunk that was full of food, tinned food, which I don't think we ever used. We were all set for a siege that never happened. My sister was 8 years older than me, and we were at war most of the time. She called me her child sister. I was a perishing nuisance to her, I think. We became quite good friends years later. But we certainly weren't when we were young. She was in the police. She was number 11 of the Liverpool Women Police, and she drove a Black Maria and an ambulance along the Dock Road in the blackout, which wasn't funny. She was only 20. She was a very good driver. My petit mal cleared up when I was 22. About time. It was quite a blight, really. I couldn't have a bike or roller skates or go out on my own all that much because I would have sort of episodes, you might call them, crossing roads and things like that. I've fallen out of lots of trees. But when I was 16, I met Elliot at Les Parry's party, and Les is still one of my closest friends, which was nice. And that was a very good thing. We thoroughly enjoyed it. And when we were 22, we got married, and that was 61 years ago. And he's still worth having.